LAPD is making history. Find out who will be taking over as the city's police chief.
Nikki Haley is here in Southern California tonight. The GOP presidential hopeful talks about her plans for the weeks ahead.
UC Santa Barbara students are dealing with major storm damage. We'll take you up the coast.
Annenberg TV News is next.
LA's new interim police chief is ready to take on the responsibility of leading the third largest law enforcement agency in the nation. Hi, I'm Malcolm Caminero.
Hi, I'm Clara Rodriguez. The 5 members of the Los Angeles Board of Police Commissioners unanimously selected the department's Assistant Chief Dominic Choi as interim chief. Choi is an LA native and the son of Korean immigrants. He graduated from USC with a Bachelor of Science in Accounting. The new interim chief started his police career in 1995 and has worked in a variety of divisions. Choi is the first American Asian to hold the job. He talked about being a police officer in a recruiting video a few years ago.
I was still young, had a lot of energy, wanted to be very active, wanted to do something that was more, I would say, helpful, more meaningful to me. Look at me now. I would have never thought 25 years ago, 24 years ago, that I'd be sitting here as a deputy chief for the Los Angeles Police Department. And when you see change in the community and you're leading that effort, it's really impactful and it's meaningful and you know you're making a difference.
Choi's interim appointment begins March 1st. The board is conducting a nationwide search to find a permanent replacement.
Presidential candidate Nikki Haley made a campaign stop in Orange County this morning, just one day after she lost the Nevada primary. She told 11 anchor Elix Michelson that she's in it for the long haul.
Nevada, it's such a scam. They were supposed to have a primary. Trump rigged it so that the GOP chairman, who's been indicted, would go and create a caucus. We knew months ago that we weren't going to spend a day or a dollar in Nevada because it wasn't worth it. Our focus is on South Carolina, Michigan, Super Tuesdays.
No delegates were up for grabs, but the option, none of these candidates, came in first place with 63% of the vote. 30% voted for Nikki Haley as their Republican presidential candidate.
I got kids, and the fight for America is here and now against every traitor like Nikki Haley.
Never Nikki signs could be seen in front of Haley's campaign stop in Costa Mesa. A couple dozen pro-Trump protesters rallied together, urging the former Southern Carolina governor and UN ambassador to drop out of the race. Supporters from across Southern California waited inside a local bar to greet the presidential hopeful. Nikki Haley spent the past couple days fundraising in Northern California, and tonight she will hold a campaign rally in Hollywood. Now to international news. It's day 124 in the Israel-Hamas conflict, and we are no closer to a ceasefire, nor are more hostages getting released. Sarah has more on that story.
Today, the world's eyes are on the Middle East, where in the last week, Israel and Hamas have each provided new proposals for the release of over 130 hostages, whom have been held in Gaza since the terrorist attack in southern Israel on October 7th. The Israeli proposal includes a 6-week pause in fighting and the release of all civilian hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli prisons. Hamas's counter-proposal outlines a gradual release of hostages and an indefinite end to fighting, in addition to more trucks of humanitarian aid coming into Gaza daily. This proposal comes as concerns arise regarding the humanitarian aid coming to Palestinians from the UN and nations around the world.
Of course, humanitarian aid in Gaza is necessary. I mean, the people are suffering, there's no doubt about it. But I think the concern is the regulation and the distribution of that aid. If there were to be aid given, there would need to be some other service that would distribute it and regulate it in the most secure way to get really to the people. And I think that
Sabrina Soffer, a GW Jewish student with family in Israel, explains that though Israelis want to send aid into Gaza, there are major concerns that Hamas is intercepting the aid and it's not going to the innocent civilians. On the other hand, Secretary General of the Norwegian Refugee Council, Jon Egeland, says the only way for humanitarian aid to get to the people is to stop fighting altogether.
the backlog are like 50,000 trucks loads of aid. And movement inside Gaza is nearly impossible for the civilian population and also for us as humanitarian workers. So only a ceasefire that ends this senseless violence can really enable us to save lives across that little strip of land.
This comes as world leaders have been weighing in on the conflict. New Argentinian President Javier Milei is visiting Israel this week to show his support, while American Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in the region meeting with Israeli and Palestinian leaders. He has said that the Middle East peace means a fully integrated Israel and a clear path to a Palestinian state. As the conflict rages on, the United States is working with both sides to ensure the fighting ends as quick as possible and will lead to a better future for both Israelis and Palestinians.
This week, Dartmouth College in New Hampshire announced standardized test scores would be mandatory once again for next year's applicants. Many colleges and universities moved to test optional admissions during the pandemic. But Dartmouth says new research shows test optional policies harmed low-income applicants, and test scores better indicate students' academic success rates. Here's what one expert had to say.
So we think it's very short-sighted. And frankly, the data that they're using, they've been test optional for 2 years, and their test optional classes haven't even graduated yet. So how do you even know that you have success? You don't need to show an SAT score to prove that you can do the work at an institution. Lots of admissions offices, other than Dartmouth, have found lots of ways to find talented students, and now they're just going to be deterred and cut off.
In addition to Dartmouth, MIT, Georgetown and Purdue are some of the universities that require standardized test scores and have done so ever since 2022. We spoke to a high school senior about his thoughts on the issue.
I feel like the SAT itself is like it's a little biased because like some people like can afford to take it 5 times, can afford to have a tutor, versus like some people in poor communities that have to only take it once and just try their best.
In a statement to Annenberg Media, USC Dean of Admissions Tim Brunold said his office has not seen a difference in academic performance since the test optional policy went into effect.
California drivers will have to pay attention to where they park. A bill passed yesterday is aimed at protecting pedestrians. Drivers must consider the areas around crosswalks and walkways as no park zones. They will also need to leave a 20-foot gap between their vehicle and any marked or unmarked crosswalks. In a statement, Assemblymember Alex Lee, who authorized the bill on daylighting, said AB 413 keeps 2 feet of crosswalks clear of stopped vehicles. California joined 43 other states to make daylighting law. I'm glad California is finally catching up with the rest of the country, and AB 413 will help save many lives. For the next year, drivers will receive a warning if they violate the new law, and starting January 1st of 2025, citations will be issued.
Record-breaking rain has caused extensive damage to student housing near UC Santa Barbara. Emergency crews evacuated more than 45 people, mostly students, from their homes. Residents called 911 yesterday to report their background patio was collapsing. The damaged homes sit on a bluff overlooking the ocean on Del Playa Drive. Drone video shows how downpours carved a chunk out of the bluffs. The public information officer for Santa Barbara County said there are measures meant to keep people safe.
There is fencing that is along that area or throughout that area to help maintain the safety of the residents in the area. It is a continued area of concern, not just because of erosion, but also because people don't realize how far that fall is on the opposite side. And so we do have accidental falls that have resulted in deaths in the past in that area.
Students have been allowed to go back to their homes, and the county will continue to assess the erosion of the bluffs. 3 major media companies are teaming up to create a new sports streaming network. Several USC buildings suffered significant flood damage after record-setting rainfall in LA. The USC Blood Drive is back on campus and asking for your help.
Let me tell you how we amplify our Latine voices. Check out Dímelo. We have it all.
Deportes.
Entertainment. Noticias. ¿Qué tal? Soy Mariela Gómez y bienvenidos a Dímelo Ahora.
Radio and podcasting.
Comida y cultura. Digital social media.
¿A qué equipo le vas tú? LA Galaxy o LAFC? Dímelo is the only Latina-focused media outlet at USC. Dímelo. We have it all.
Dímelo. We have it all.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
There's a new pet.
Chia.
Chia Pet, the pottery that grows. It's fun and easy. Soak your chia, spread the seeds, keep it watered, and watch it grow. And now grow a whole collection of fun with Chia teddy bears, puppies, kittens, rams, bulls. There's even a chia tree to keep your pets company. Chia Pets and Trees, the pottery that grows.
The Chia Pet and Chia Tree are available at Kmart, Rite Aid, Ames, and Woolworth. Makes a great gift.
ESPN, Warner Brothers, Discovery, and Fox have announced a new streaming service that will feature games from professional leagues and college conferences. The three companies are hoping to attract sports fans who have abandoned cable. It will offer subscribers all 14 sports channels owned by the three companies. It will also include ESPN Plus and fan favorites like The Simpsons, The Bachelor, but some question whether the new service will hurt cable and sports bars.
I think it's an important step for these companies to offer an alternative for sports fans who don't get the traditional cable TV bundles. You have competitors getting together to join forces and provide a service and value, and again, depending on the pricing, I think it signals we are in a new era.
The new streaming service is due to start this fall, but we don't know yet how much it will cost, and the service can be bundled with Disney Plus, Hulu, or Max.
The monthly USC Blood Drive returned to the Village today. Sponsors of the Blood Drive say this year's opening turnout was better than expected. The first months of the year are typically the slowest. The nation's blood supply dropped to historic lows during the pandemic, and experts say the number of teens and young adults who donate blood has steadily fallen since 2013. They're urging USC students to develop a habit of donating blood.
Just people like me that would love to be in college or be out having a fun time, but they might be in a hospital bed for one reason or another. And I think maybe if I donate blood, I can give them that chance to do that.
January and February are always like a tough time for blood collection just because everyone's coming back from Christmas break and everyone's coming back from vacations. So it's very important that people see the need that's still going on.
The blood drive today was held at the USC Village outside McCarthy from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The dates for the next two drives are March 13th and April 3rd. Organizers say it's best if you make an appointment online at the Livestream Blood Bank's website.
Today, students had the opportunity to hear Caitlin Cotton, head of operations at Hooray, speak about navigating her career in the entertainment industry. Cotton talked about her work with diversity, equity, and inclusion within the industry, emphasizing how her career has not been linear. She continued to encourage students to be persistent within their own career journeys.
I think Kaylin was extremely insightful. She was transparent. She allowed us to hear really about the things that is happening in the entertainment industry, but giving us a insightful perspective about where she came from, what her journey was like, and using her culture to be able to promote diversity and inclusion was really, really effective as a listener.
USC is also hosting a variety of Black History Month events in the upcoming weeks. There will be a Black Brunch on February 11th. On February 12th, She's My Coretta event will talk about the impact of gendered expectations on Black love and relationships. And on February 13th, USC will celebrate Charlotta Bass Day with special guest Charlotta Shabazz. USC will also be celebrating Black History Month throughout February. Academy Award-winning rapper Common will appear later this month at Bovard Auditorium. If you'd like to find out more about events, visit calendar.usc.edu. And we got a break from the rain this afternoon, but will it be back? Audie has our weather for us.
Los Angeles experienced 4.1 inches of rain on Sunday, snapping the old record of 2.55 inches set in 1927. The storm hurt USC as well, with the rainwater flooding at least 11 campus buildings. The flood rainwater is leading to extensive damage and class disruptions. USC facilities have received over 200 calls for repairs. Water damage has rendered some rooms unusable, which forced classes online. Some buildings like Tabor Hall and the PE building are showing leaks and floods, highlighting the need for repairs and upgrades. Students and faculty are urged to exercise caution as the situation develops. Happy Wednesday, Los Angeles. I'm Audie Tackett, and welcome to Audie's Atmosphere, where I'll be bringing you the weather forecast. Let's take a look at today's current conditions since we finally got a break from some of the rain today. It's remained mostly cloudy today as we've stayed in the mid-50s, and we might expect a little bit more rain tonight, but let's see what we have in store for the week ahead. For the next few days, there's going to be a very low chance of rain. It would still be on the cooler side for SoCal, staying in the 60s pretty consistently. This upcoming week is looking clearer than the past week since we won't be seeing as much rain as normal. But that isn't to say that the rain is not completely done for this winter season. Now let's go to Madison to see what's going on with Trojan Sports.
It's National Women in Sports Day this Wednesday, so we look to highlight some of our excellent women of Troy. We're talking ball. We asked USC students about what they think of USC basketball this season. It's the biggest sporting event of the year on Sunday. We give our picks for this year's Super Bowl.
Bonjour, je suis le grand musique.
Je suis la jeune fille.
Yes, that's French they're speaking. And no, these children aren't French. They're American. And they've acquired their amazing new language skills from Muzzy, the remarkable new video language program for children developed by the British Broadcasting Corporation. With this unique BBC language course, children learn a second language with incredible ease. 4 delightful videos quickly become their favorite TV show and teaches children the same way they learned English. Learning another language becomes fun. You'll be amazed when your children begin speaking and understanding their new language from the very first day through this unique method. The entire course, 4 videos, 2 audio cassettes, the activity book, and the Parent's Guide and Answer book is available in French, Spanish, Italian, or German.
To order, use your credit card and call this number. We'll ship and charge you $28.08 a month for 6 months. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call 1-800-424-0700.
Okay, this stuff is really amazing. I mean, I put it in my mouth and I taste watermelon, but it's not just that. I taste strawberry too, but it's kind of like a watermelon-y strawberry put together. Hey, hang on. Sorry about that. And the bubbles are really awesome. I mean, that's why they call it Max. I guess, obviously, that sort of makes sense once you think about it. Oh, I'm Dan, and that's Chuck.
Hubba Max. A whole new kind of bubble. Hey!
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Madison Hogue.
And I'm Keely Roy. It's a very special day for us because it's National Women in Sports Day.
And what better way to celebrate than with Women of Troy Wednesday? This week, we are highlighting 2 female athletes who excelled both in swimming and basketball. Caroline Famous of USC Swim had herself a weekend. She was awarded Pac-12 Swimmer of the Week after scoring 3 of her season best times in the 50-yard freestyle, 100-yard backstroke, and again in the 50-yard freestyle. It's no secret that Juju Watkins is an absolute baller. This weekend against Stanford, she dropped 51 of her team's 67 points. 2 days later, she went out to score 29 points against Cal. This week alone, she was awarded Pac-12 Player of the Week, her 11th Pac-12 Freshman of the Week, Naismith Trophy National Player of the Week, and ESPN's Player of the Week. You can catch Juju and the women's basketball team back at Galen this Friday night versus ASU.
The women of Troy made quite a splash this weekend as USC's women's swim and dive defeated number 5 Stanford, handing them their first loss of the season. USC women's swim has been the talk of the town after defeating Stanford for the first time in 28 years. The meet was a close one, coming down to the final 4x1 relay, where the Trojans just edged out the Cardinals in the final seconds. They went on to win the meet and swept the Pac-12 awards of the week for both swim and dive. But while beating 2 top 5 ranked opponents might be the high of the season thus far for this team, it was not a one-off occasion. The women of Troy have been consistent in the pool this season, currently undefeated with an 8-0 record. They have already set 2 new pool records and aren't showing any signs of slowing down. Women's swim and dive will be back in action this weekend as they look to keep their undefeated season going as they take on rival UCLA on Friday and Saturday in Westwood.
As men's basketball look to start a win streak tonight, we went out and asked students what they think of the current state of USC basketball.
I have a better feeling for the future than I do now because it's been a rocky season, but I feel like they'll find their footing.
I think, why are we not doing too well? Because we have some pretty good players. We had the number 1 recruit. Why aren't we executing our offense?
I also think about how we're kind of bad right now, and it's disappointing.
While some students may not have the most faith in the men's basketball team, the Trojans look to prove them wrong and get the win tonight against Cal at 8 p.m. up in Berkeley.
This weekend is an action-packed one for USC sports. 9 different teams are competing throughout the weekend, with 2 sports opening their seasons. Women's tennis is competing in the ITA Indoor Championships up in Seattle this weekend. At home, USC women's basketball takes on Arizona State Friday. Track and field is back in action on the road, while men's volleyball is back at Galen Saturday night. USC lacrosse kicks off their season this weekend as they head back east to take on Army West Point on Friday. The matchup against number 15 ranked Army provides a great opportunity for the 25th ranked women of Troy to make a statement on opening day.
Our team culture is just so good. So even if maybe we have a day that we're not performing as well as we want to, we know that we can always rely on one another on the field, off the field to really push us to that next level. So yeah, winning the Pac-12s again would be great, in the Coliseum last time in the Pac-12. And then, like I said kind of earlier, just going further in the NCAA than we really ever have.
The women of Troy round out their trip with a matchup against Villanova on Sunday before they head back to the West Coast to prepare for their home opener.
Besides USC sports this weekend, it is the biggest sporting event of the year, the Super Bowl. The Chiefs and the 49ers play at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on Sunday. Keely, who do you have winning the game?
Madison, I'm going to have to go with the 49ers, a Bay local, so I'm going to have to take them. And, I think the Chiefs have had quite a run already. I think their time's coming to an end, hopefully here soon.
I would have to agree. We can only hope that the Chiefs' time's coming to an end. I think 90% of the country is rooting for the 49ers, so we can look forward to them hopefully getting the victory. And it sounds like it is bang, bang, Niner gang from the 2 of us. That's all for this week on ATVN Sports. I'm Madison Hogue.
And I'm Keely Roy. See you next week for more sports news. Now to Malcolm for a little super sneak preview.
Coming up, Erica is here to help you make healthier Super Bowl snack choices.
Let me tell you how we amplify our Latina voices. Check out Dímelo. We have it all.
Deportes.
Entertainment. Noticias. ¿Qué tal? Soy Mariela Gómez y bienvenidos a Dime la Hora.
radio and podcasting,
comida y cultura,
digital social media.
¿A qué equipo le vas tú? LA Galaxy o LAFC? Dímelo is the only Latina-focused media outlet at USC. Dímelo, we have it all.
Dímelo, we have it all.
Want quality name brand carpet for less?
Call Empire and you can get quality carpet at the lowest price guaranteed. And no payments for 1 year.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
I've replaced your shoelaces with fruit by the foot.
So you did. I replaced your fingers with fruit by the foot.
Bravo. I've replaced your bones with fruit by the foot.
Indeed you have. I replaced your guitar strings with fruit by the foot.
Seems like a step backwards, but alright. I've replaced your DNA with fruit by the foot. That would be end the game, my friend.
Fruit by the foot. Fruit-flavored snack.
Hi, I'm Erica Driscoll, and it's Wellness Wednesday. The snacks are the real Super Bowl touchdown. They may be tasty, but generally are not the healthiest. 75% of watchers plan to have a chip and dip combo, making this a top game favorite. I asked Trojans what healthy alternative they were bringing to their watch party.
My sister and I usually do it with cauliflower. So we fry cauliflower, we coat it up, we bread it with panko, and then we fry that lightly in oil. So that's like a pretty good healthy alternative.
The veggie sticks are like fries and dip them in artichoke and spinach dip.
Probably something really simple, like just celery ranch, carrots ranch, something of that variety.
Instead of like the regular tater tots, I know my mom makes some really good cauliflower tater tots, so probably that.
I decided to whip up my own twist on the classic, but packed with nutrients. Gluten-free baked chicken tenders, sweet potato chips, and beet hummus. Chicken adds some protein. The almond flour is an alternative to wheat and packed with vitamin E and magnesium. Baked sweet potatoes avoid heavy frying, and the fats in hummus are primarily polyunsaturated and monosaturated, which may lower cholesterol levels. Whether you are cheering for the 49ers or the Chiefs, a healthy snack is always a winner. That's all I have for today. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Clara Rodriguez.
And I'm Malcolm Caminero. For more coverage, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Have a wonderful evening.